What if the things you share with your children, out of love and trust, are slowly eroding your independence and peace? Imagine carrying a heavy burden, not because of life's challenges, but because of the well-meaning advice or care from those closest to you. Today, we dive into the ancient wisdom of the East to uncover 7 secrets you should never reveal to your children, especially the 5th one. These secrets, guarded for centuries, are the key to maintaining your harmony, freedom, and inner strength. From financial independence to unspoken dreams, each secret holds the power to transform your relationships and protect your personal space. But beware, once you know these truths, you'll see your interactions with your loved ones in a whole new light. Stay until the end, because the 5th secret might just change the way you think about family forever. Ready to unlock the wisdom that could save your peace of mind? Let's begin. There's a fine line between seeking support and losing your independence, especially when it comes to your health. Imagine this. You've just received a concerning diagnosis, and your first instinct is to share it with your children. You want their comfort, their reassurance. But what starts as care can quickly turn into control. Maria, a woman in her late 50s, learned this the hard way. After sharing her health struggles with her daughter, she expected empathy. Instead, her daughter began calling daily, questioning every decision, and even insisting on managing her treatments. What began as support soon felt like suffocation. Maria's independence was slipping away, and she didn't know how to reclaim it. This is where ancient wisdom steps in. A wise teacher once said, "When we share our vulnerabilities, we often think we're lightening our load, but sometimes we're unknowingly passing that way to others." The truth is, not every detail of your health needs to be shared. Some battles are meant to be fought quietly, not because you don't trust your loved ones, but because their concern can sometimes become a burden for them and for you. By keeping certain health matters private, you protect not only your peace, but also your relationships. It's not about hiding. It's about preserving balance. Ask yourself, is this information necessary, or will it only add to their worries? Sometimes, silence is the greatest act of love. Money is one of the most sensitive topics in any relationship, especially with family. You might think that being transparent about your finances will strengthen trust, but it can often lead to unintended consequences. Take Maria's story, for example. Proud of her savings, she once told her daughter about her financial stability, hoping to reassure her that she was self-sufficient. But instead of relief, her daughter began to see those savings as a shared resource. "Mom, you're not using that money anyway. Why not help me buy a car?" she asked one day. Maria was stunned. What she thought was a gesture of pride had turned into an expectation. The lesson here is profound. When you reveal your financial situation, you open the door to assumptions and expectations, a wise mentor once shared. Your hard-earned savings can quickly become a source of tension, especially if your loved ones start viewing them as a safety net for their own needs. Financial independence is about more than just having money. It's about maintaining control over your life. By keeping your financial details private, you protect your autonomy and avoid unnecessary conflicts. It's not about secrecy. It's about safeguarding your freedom. Remember, your money is your responsibility, not a shared asset. We all carry regrets, mistakes, and lessons from our past. Sharing these with your children might seem like a way to guide them, but it can backfire in ways you never expected. Maria once opened up to her daughter about a major mistake she made in her youth, hoping it would serve as a cautionary tale. Instead of understanding, her daughter looked at her with disappointment. "I never thought you could make such a mistake," she said. That moment shattered Maria's image in her daughter's eyes. What she thought would bring them closer only created distance. A wise teacher once said, "The past is a shadow that follows us, but it doesn't need to be cast on others." When you share your regrets, you risk altering how your loved ones see you. They may start to question your judgment or lose respect for the person they once admired. This doesn't mean you should never share your experiences, but it's crucial to consider the impact. Some lessons are better learned through observation, not revelation. By keeping certain parts of your past to yourself, you preserve the respect and trust your children have for you. After all, your past doesn't define you. It's the wisdom you've gained that truly matters. Dreams are the fuel that keeps our souls alive, but not every dream needs to be shared, especially with your children. Maria once confided in her daughter about her lifelong dream of visiting Paris. She imagined her daughter would share her excitement, but instead, she was met with practicality. "Mom, that's too expensive. You should focus on something more realistic," her daughter said. Those words felt like a bucket of cold water, extinguishing the spark of hope Maria had carried for years. Dreams are deeply personal. They represent our innermost desires, our sense of freedom, and our connection to what makes us feel alive. But when we share them with others, we risk exposing them to judgment or indifference. A wise mentor once said, "Dreams are like delicate flames. Not everyone will see their light, and some may even try to blow them out." By keeping certain dreams to yourself, you protect them from being dismissed or diminished. Your dreams don't need validation from others to be valid. They are yours to nurture and pursue in your own time. Sometimes, the most powerful dreams are the ones we hold close to our hearts, away from the opinions of others. Maria learned this the hard way. After that conversation, she decided to keep her dreams private, knowing that they were hers alone to cherish. She realized that her dreams didn't need to be understood by anyone else. They only needed to inspire her. We all have fears about the future, fears of aging, illness, or losing our independence. But sharing these fears with your children can sometimes do more harm than good. Maria once opened up to her daughter about her anxiety about growing older. She hoped for reassurance, but instead, her daughter responded with a dismissive smile. "Mom, you've always been so strong. I can't believe you're worried about this," she said. That moment left Maria feeling more vulnerable than ever. Her daughter's reaction made her feel like her fears were invalid, even though they were very real to her. A wise teacher once shared, "Fears are like shadows. They grow when we give them too much attention, and they shrink when we keep them to ourselves." While it's natural to want comfort from your children, sharing your deepest fears can sometimes create unnecessary worry or even distance. Your children may not always understand your vulnerabilities, and their reactions might leave you feeling more exposed and supported. By keeping certain fears private, you protect your emotional well-being and maintain a sense of strength in your relationships. It's not about hiding who you are. It's about choosing when and how to share your struggles. Sometimes, the bravest thing you can do is face your fears alone, knowing that you have a resilience to overcome them. As parents, we often feel the need to guide our children, even when they're adults. But sometimes, the best way to show love is to step back and let them find their own path. Maria learned this lesson when she tried to advise her son about his career. She thought she was helping him avoid mistakes, but her advice only pushed him away. "Mom, I'm not a kid anymore. I can make my own decisions," he said firmly. That moment was a wake-up call for Maria. She realized that her desire to protect her son was actually stifling his growth. A wise mentor once said, "True love is not about controlling someone's journey. It's about being able to support them, no matter where their path leads." Letting go of control doesn't mean you stop caring. It means trusting your children to navigate their own lives, even if it means they make mistakes along the way. By stepping back, you give them the space to learn, grow, and become the best versions of themselves. Maria decided to stop offering unsolicited advice and instead became a quiet observer of her son's life. She realized that her role was no longer to guide him, but to support him, no matter what. And in doing so, she found a new sense of peace in their relationship. As we age, maintaining our independence becomes more important than ever. But sometimes, the people who love us the most, our children, can unintentionally strip us of that freedom. Maria experienced this when her daughter suggested she move in with her family. "Mom, we can take care of you. It'll be easier for everyone," her daughter said. While the offer came from a place of love, it left Maria feeling trapped. Her home, her routines, and her sense of self were all tied to her independence. The thought of giving that up filled her with dread. A wise teacher once said, "Independence is not just about living alone. It's about living on your own terms. No one, not even those who love you, has the right to take that away." Maria realized that her independence was non-negotiable. She thanked her daughter for the offer, but chose to stay in her own home, where she felt most like herself. By doing so, she preserved not only her freedom, but also her dignity. This secret is a reminder that independence is a cornerstone of our identity. It's okay to accept help when needed, but it's equally important to set boundaries that protect your autonomy. Your independence is a gift, one that should never be given away lightly. The 7 secrets we've explored today are not just about keeping things to yourself. They're about protecting your peace, your relationships, and your sense of self. From health and finances to dreams and fears, each secret reveals how sharing too much can sometimes do more harm than good. The wisdom of the East teaches us that silence is not a sign of weakness, but a tool of strength. It's about knowing when to speak and when to hold back, when to guide and when to step aside. These secrets remind us that true love and care often come from respecting boundaries, both ours and those of our loved ones. As you reflect on these lessons, ask yourself, are there areas of my life where I've shared too much? Are there boundaries I need to set to protect my independence and peace? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever experienced a situation where silence or boundaries made a difference in your relationships? Share your stories in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more insights into living a balanced and harmonious life. Remember, sometimes the greatest wisdom lies in what we choose not to say.